This is ABC Radio Brisbane with Rebecca Livingston.
18 degrees in the city right now. We'll get up to 24 degrees today. A sunny day for you, Brisbane. Bayside, 18 degrees. Ipswich, 16. Logan, 18. The Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast, 21 degrees. Beautiful weather we have up here. It's around about this time of year that all the southern states get really jealous of Queensland. But I tell you who is feeling warm after the welcome he got yesterday in Sydney is India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. 20,000 people turned out to say, hey, welcome to Australia. The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, was there, also jumping on board that warm welcome. As you heard Maria say earlier this morning, apparently one group of people from India who were in Melbourne, they chartered a plane to fly to Sydney to welcome the Prime Minister. Sanjay has called up from Acacia Ridge. Sanjay, good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to say something for the Narendra Modi, Indian Prime Minister.
Oh, a pleasure. I'm really interested to hear. Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about your story. Are you from India originally?
Yes, I'm from Gujarat. In fact, I'm from his state. So I'm speaking same language as Narendra Modi is speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you view Narendra Modi.
Narendra Modi is God's blessing to India as a Prime Minister because he is very honest and he is a very nationalist and patriotic Prime Minister. So we haven't seen in India like Prime Minister like him. So he's a good boon to India, actually.
Okay, so that honesty and that the fact that he's a patriot is what appeals to you. Was he well known before he was Prime Minister? Was he seen as a sort of a different leader?
Yeah, he was Chief Minister of Gujarat State, just like a Premier of Queensland. He was a Chief Minister of Gujarat State. He governed the state for the 20 years, and he has done lots of improvement, irrigation projects, industries, and all investment opportunity in Gujarat. And he bring back the peace and no curfew, no communal riots, anything since last 20 years. But before he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, there was a very frequent communal riots between Hindu and Muslim. That was because of the previous government using Muslim as a vote bank, while Narendra Modi has used them as a provide them all the opportunity for the prosperity and development and the employment.
Right.
And that's how all the communal riots settled down. And the laws and order maintained very well by Narendra Modi. And nothing is happening, and now Gujarat is very peaceful.
Yeah, well, if anyone can contribute to peace, that's a leader that I think most people would appreciate. I mean, that's a fairly healthy resume that you've ticked off there for him, and changes along lines of education and industry and investment, and of course, his visit, Narendra Modi's visit to Australia, meeting with the Prime Minister, is all about a free trade agreement. So
Exactly.
that is something that is going to be championed by the Australian Prime Minister as well. And Sanjay, there are some people who are sort of protesting against Narendra Modi's visit. What are those who are not such big supporters of him? What are their concerns with him?
Well, there are the certain group of the Punjab people which are demanding the separate state from India, and it is international tactics against India. And particularly the neighbor country, Pakistan's ISI, is backing this group, providing all the tactical planning, weaponry, all the social media's tactics, everything they are providing and learning from the ISI. And that's how they are funded from the Pakistan. Even Pakistan now need to worry about their own economy rather than giving fund to the Khalistanis.
Right.
It's only a small group of people, but most of the Punjabis are with India. So we are not too much worried about or panic about those Khalistanis. We are just ignoring. We are telling them, you are most welcome. Give what you want, and we can sit in with it for a dialogue. and we can solve your problem. But they are not seeing any problem. They just want separate Punjab without any reason. It purely looks like it's ISI strategy to separate that state from India.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a huge group of people, and it's of course understandable that people would see things differently. But I guess that's also the opportunity of within a democracy to have those debates, and hopefully have those debates peacefully. In terms of how the Indian election system works, is Narendra Modi, are there terms that he stays in power? Are there any limits on the time he'll be in power?
Well, I was working in government department before coming to Australia, and I have controlled the election many times. And India is only the country using the electronics voting machine very successfully.
Oh, is that
and
right?
And that electronic voting machine I have controlled during the elections, and it's 100% foolproof. No one can hack it, no one can manipulate it, no one can tamper it. So it's a great, and for the billions of people in India, elections with the papers and pen will be a huge nightmare, and dodgy things could happen. But with the EVM, no one can do any dodgy thing. No one can do any fake thing.
That is so interesting because, of course, Sanjay, you probably know, every time we have an election here in Australia, the discussion comes out about electronic voting, and to be able to do it on a scale to the population size of India, if it's possible there, you'd have to think it'd be possible here. All right, well, Sanjay, great to hear from you this morning. You're not chartering a plane and flying down to see Prime Minister Modi, are you?
No, I wanted to, but because of my works and all other engagement, I couldn't go there. But my friends definitely went there with 400 people. They have hired some buses, and they travel for just night before, and whole night they had traveled on road.
Wow!
And they reached Sydney.
So from Brisbane, your friends hired a bus and went down to Narendra Modi.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. Well, then that is commitment. I was really interested to hear from the Indian community in Brisbane to see how people were responding. Thank you for giving your time and your view this morning, Sanjay. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, Rebecca. Thank you very much.
Take care. Sanjay, so he's from the area that Narendra Modi is from as well, and very much a big supporter of the Indian Prime Minister, saying he is the most honest Prime Minister India has ever had.